Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Here's How Whiteboard. This time I'll be tackling Luminous Cove with the new Mermonkey. Specifically, we're actually going to be using Poseidon, which is the middle path tier 5. I don't really see too many people kind of talk about this path. Unfortunately, everyone has decided to kind of lust over bottom and top path, so I decided to kind of turn the tables by focusing on middle path today. As well as the fact that I would argue that middle path is my favorite path, kind of just overall. Final Harmonic is kind of pretty cool. I do kind of like that, and we will be using that into today's video, but the showcase is mainly going to be on Poseidon. So a little trivia about me. The main reason why I kind of like Poseidon so much is because in middle school I actually was a Percy Jackson fan. If you read those books, I thought they were pretty cool. It was one of the kind of few book series I read. I'm not really an avid reader, but there are some series that I do like to kind of read. I read all the way up to like the first few books of Trials of Apollo. I kind of fell behind with those because I just wasn't really all that interested in the series. So I just decided to kind of forget everything and just assumed everyone lived happily ever after the what was it, like the 4 or 5 part series of those long chapter books. It was called Heroes of Olympus, wasn't it? Or something like that. I'm sure someone probably knows, but it's been a while since I've actually last read those books. Get Brickle down. You're gonna be using Brickle kind of a lot here because, of course, Mermonkey is going to be placed in the water, so we're actually going to be synergizing with kind of water towers, so it's pretty cool. Also, I'd just like to say, this is probably going to be one of the few times where you actually won't see me using Village or Alk buff at all this entire run. Just because there's no place on the water that I can really put it. I could get Lord of the Abyss, not Atlantis, to actually try and get Alchemist and Village down, but I don't think it's worth spending, was it like $40-something thousand just for the land space. I'd much rather put that money towards like support and other stuff. Because we're gonna go for a kind of standard early game here. Actually, before I get intel, let me actually get this guy down. He's gonna be my camo defense. I think I'm gonna turn this guy into Poseidon. Let's say up for Poseidon's gonna be kind of annoying. I did do some kind of testing with this, and the earliest that I was able to afford Poseidon was gonna be kind of either at the end of 78 or in the middle of kind of like 79. Before I upgrade the Mermonkey further, let me actually get Sniper down. A weird thing about the Mermonkey is its kind of weaknesses. Something you'll notice is that this thing just has like no lead popping. Only middle path has lead popping, I believe. I don't think top path, even at tier 5, is lead popping. Although correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't really used top path kind of too much. And then I'm going to get a second Mermonkey, just to help buff the first one. This one's going to be my Final Harmonic, and I'll get it like here-ish, I guess it's fine. Even though in testing I did have it on the left side here, I think it doesn't really matter because I can target the thing so I can actually have it on the left side, but I don't think it's really needed, if I'm being honest. When it comes to cross-pathing for Final Harmonic, I'm not really sure which one's better. I'm going to assume it's top path because the upgrade says that it attacks fast with all attacks, so I'm assuming that the alluring melody attack counts in that, so I'm assuming that it would make this attack faster. So I actually need to get that before we go for kind of Riptide Champion, as I think it's a bit stronger kind of overall. I'll be honest, everyone's going crazy for the tier 3. I don't really kind of see the appeal here, but to each their own. Alright, and cross-pathing for the Poseidon's actually going to be bottom path. I kind of thought about it, and top path, well, it does kind of seem better on paper. You know, you have extra attack speed and more pierce, which is what you do kind of want for Poseidon, just kind of middle path in general. The more I think about it, I feel like it makes more sense to kind of go for bottom path. The main reason is that the projectiles seek if you go for bottom path. This is important because the attack description for this is that the tridents grow in size and power as they travel. And so you'd actually want the tridents to be attacking mainly when they're at their full power, like, you know, when they're very far along the track. And seeking kind of helps with that. If you don't have seeking, you're not really getting kind of the full power because it's just going to either go through the like the Moab's late game, because it probably won't be utilizing its full pierce. And so the seeking projectile is just going to help it utilize its kind of pierce at all. It is going to suck because I am going to miss that attack speed, but I think this guy is more than powerful enough to kind of overcome that. Wait, so let me start working on Plutonium Reactor just to get that reduced cooldowns. That's definitely going to be important for Arctic Knight and Brickle's ability. We're going to be relying on that a lot in order to be able to afford Riptide, not Riptide Champion, Poseidon. Now, while these rounds are kind of a little bit easy, I kind of want to talk about Mermonkey. What are my thoughts on it? I think it's a pretty fun tower overall. I really kind of do like it. I will admit it is kind of carried by Middle Path's Poseidon. But even so, I think it's pretty solid overall. Bottom Path, I'd say it's pretty balanced. I don't really think it's broken like everyone kind of makes it out to be. I think it's pretty balanced overall. Like, it's not immune. You can, like, balloons can and will get past it. So it's not like really broken in that regard. I mean, its weird weakness, the tower's weird weakness to leads is just an interesting decision overall. I don't think it's like a deal breaker or anything, but it just kind of is odd. It's like seeing like only one path can pop leads here. Although I guess it is like that for some other towers. Like I think Ninja, only Master Bomber can pop leads, so it's not really too weird overall, but I don't know. I kind of assume that top path would be able to pop leads, but I guess not. Anyways, I think I want to move the totem thing kind of over here, so that way it's more in the range of Balloonsonium Reactor, so we can actually get that DOT damage on the balloons. That does mean it's gonna get this side kind of late, but I think that's fine. Alright, so now that we actually got Arctic Knight, I'm actually gonna go for these guys. I think it is worth it just for kind of the range. They won't really be doing a whole lot of damage, but I mean, it's something. And I also do find it weird that this tower kind of heavily emphasizes Pierce. Like, it's something you'll notice is that top and bottom path give towers Pierce. And so I do kind of wonder what they're kind of going for. Maybe like Spike Factory synergy, because when I think about it, I'm not really sure how that would really be fully utilized in like a real game here. Because while there definitely are towers that need Pierce, I don't think it's worth spending the money just to get extra Pierce. Because while Spike Factory is a good contender for extra Pierce, like, you know, I don't really think it's worth going for like Lord of the Abyss or like Final Harmonic just for the increase in Pierce. You know, like I feel like that money was better spent in like support and whatnot. But I guess it's kind of maybe like kind of self-synergizing. Because Middle Path, I guess, could use Pierce. I think this round is a little bit tough. 62 is not going to be a whole lot better. The save up for Poseidon's not going to be all that easy, unfortunately. I think I'll use this now. It is a bit late, but I mean, if I can just utilize Arctic Knight's ability at a good time, I should be fine. Hopefully this can come back up before the fortified mobs come back in. If not, I'll just have to reset. Alright, so Brickle's ability's back up, perfect. So that mob's gonna pop. And then once the kind of two fortified mobs get here, that's when I'm gonna use Naval Tactics. And then 63 is gonna be kind of annoying. I can't remember fully how I approached this during practice. Probably should have wrote some notes. I think I did this kind of late. I don't know if that was really needed here, but I feel like I kind of needed it. I'll use that ability. I don't think this is going to beat Wave 2, though, because it's quite dense. No, it does. Okay, so I think we'll have Naval Tactics back up for Wave 3, which will be perfect, because Wave 3 is the densest. I'll just use it now. And then for 64, Arctic Knight's ability is going to be back up. This round's kind of annoying. I'll use that mine ability. I'm actually not really fully sure what that does, but just using the ability kind of helps me mentally. Alright, I'll use it now. Perfect. Nuke that. 65, I don't think it was hard during practice. And so I think those were the main hard rounds. I think we can kind of coast until the mid-70s. I know 75, 76, and 78 were a bit tough. We're almost there, 42,000, only 14,000 left to go. So the thing that's going to be annoying here is leads. So I need to time Brickle's ability kind of well. I think Brickle has reached the level to where Naval Tactics actually allows the tower to pop all balloon types except for camo. Okay, so leads we got rid of pretty good. I also need to save an ability for 76 as well. Yeah. This might be a restart here. What do I want to do? I want to use Arctic Knight and then maybe save Naval Tactics 476. Or maybe I'll use Naval Tactics because Naval Tactics has a longer duration. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll use that ability. And just kind of play this by ear. As soon as balloons get far, I'll use it now. And then we nuke everything down. Just about, okay. And then Arctic Knight has to solo this. Perfect. Not in the clear yet, 78. I need to pay attention to the Ceramic Wave. Those are quite difficult. It's very satisfying using Naval Tactics with the Mermonkeys because they just turn into absolute nukes once you use it. Alright, let me use this now. No shot I used it too early. We were gonna beat that. That's annoying. And we were 6k away. Oh, time for a restart. And then this time I don't want to screw it up. And then I'll wait a little bit. Use it now. And then that should be it. Alright, perfect. 5k away from Pop Sign and then wants a micro ability so much. So it kind of sucks about going for Middle Path Towers, you know, having to manage abilities the entire run is quite annoying. And a little bit fatiguing if I'm being honest. Alright, so here comes the Chemostorm Wave. I'm going to use Naval Tactics here because it's going to also get... hold on. I used both abilities there. That's kind of bad for 79. I just kind of panicked used it because I just saw there was a huge clump of balloons. I think we can hold off the rainbows without Naval Tactics. Thankfully, the cooldown's kind of half up. So as long as we kind of... the BBs kind of get in range while Naval Tactics comes up, I think we should be fine. I think we can just kind of barely hold off the Regal Rainbows here. Our reactor's kind of working overtime right now. And yeah, like I said, we're going to be able to afford Poseidon kind of in the middle of the round. There we are. Poseidon, perfect. And then this run should be a lot easier now that Poseidon's on the field. We can save up for the final harmonic. And then after that, we're going to just go to support. Also, kind of a little secret here is if you get all the tier 5s, this kind of pathway opens here. I'm not really sure what it does. Like, even when I kind of played the game kind of casually just to see what it does, it didn't really do anything from my knowledge. It was just kind of there. Maybe when the Mermonkey Paragon gets added, there'll be a cool interaction there, but who knows, who knows. As you can see, Poseidon's actually absolutely shredding everything. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense. It is a $56,000 tower, so it's basically a win condition tower. Kind of similar to Moab Dom, except the only difference is that this guy actually does decent damage to Super Ceramics versus Moab Dom still needs some support in that regard. Now, I could go for the tier 4 top path, which I think I might do. Just because it's basically going to be our Moab glue. I don't really have any good spots, I guess here. But I mean, I won't really be able to kind of replicate it on the other side. Alright, final harmonic. Nice. I'm just gonna mine these UMGs just so that way this round kind of takes longer. Actually, not longer, shorter. And I guess free play ramping is kind of kicked up to the point where mine's no longer one shot down to BFB layer. Which is fine. And I guess the Pierce increase we could also come in handy, so there's that. And something I noticed is that Reactor actually wasn't in range of this guy the entire time. It's a bit worrying. Although I guess as you can see, it definitely wasn't needed. And so reduced cooldowns could have came in handy, but oh well. Alright, gonna mine this one. Alright. Also, I do want to get overclock down. 95 comes on this side, so I'm actually gonna put the engineer here just for decamo. Even though these guys can already see camo, I guess also de-leading is also helpful too. Now apparently the Lord of the Abyss does have a slowdown too, like the tier 4 does obviously. But I have read that it's actually worse than Moab Glue, which is actually kind of interesting. It costs much more than Moab Glue, but yet has a worse slowdown. So I kind of wonder what Ninja Q was kind of thinking there, but oh well. So I guess if I did have to buff this guy, I would definitely buff the slowdown to at least be Moab Glue level. And then you could honestly have the tier 5 maybe be, I don't know, slightly better than Moab Glue. I'm going to use naval tactics here just because. Make me feel safe for DTs. It is a bit strange that a $31,000 tower can't hit leads. Or the tier 5 might be able to hit leads, but I would definitely give tier 4 lead popping. Alright, so I guess whatever I do, I need to make sure that I have naval tactics up for 95. Just that way everyone's able to kind of hit leads here. Balloons are getting pretty far, but we should be fine. And we'll have kind of overclock up for that round, so I'm not too concerned. If they come, I'm just going to use it immediately, because why not? And then this should just delete 95. Yep, perfect. I think I want to get first strike down because I think this is all the defense I need at this point. Pop Sign does do some decent BAD damage, but this is just to make absolutely sure. I don't want to die on around 100 like I did for the Council Revenge run. 98 I also don't think is going to be too bad. Even if it is, we do have the Tidal Wave ability, so that's going to be pretty nice. Alright, use that ability to finish it off. Overclock again. Sabo when DTs come in. And that'll be a GG. I'll use another one. Then we have Sabo back up if things go bad. I'll use Naval Tactics now. Use Sabo, and then that'll finish this off. Alright, perfect. Nice, so that was Luminous Cove Chimps with Pop Cytomane DPS doing 1.5 million damage. That's always pretty cool. So I do like this path. That's kind of my favorite path. Bit of a shame it's kind of being overshadowed by bottom and top path. Although not really because it's powerful, because I guess bottom and top path I guess look better, but I kind of like Pop Cytomane more. Anyways, I think I'll end this video off by changing the name here. Perfect.